What's up?
So like 2 years, right? You know what I'm saying? In the dark. No word, no nothing. Random TikToks. You know what I'm saying? But we're back? Question mark?
Hopefully.
We'll figure that out.
My name's Jane Madison.
My name is Michael Banks.
And we are your host of Madman Activity.
Activities? What are we?
Activity.
Activity. Okay. All right. We're still working on.
No, it's always been activity.
We're still working on a lot of stuff. This episode, as you can very clearly tell by the title or the thumbnail or whatever it is that we're doing for this, Stranger Things finally wrapped up, and we're like, you know what? We have to turn the camera back on at some point. It might as well be for this and all the bullshit that came with it. And you might notice it's a new space because, a lot has happened.
We're in a new space every video.
Pretty much every video. Virtual, LA, Florida, San Francisco, you know what I'm saying? We're just around. And we have a special guest on with us, dear friend, a brother in the craft, Davion Carter, everybody. Insert clapping. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like you kind of downplayed the introduction.
you know what I'm saying?
It was okay.
Listen,
No,
I
fine.
usually have a much better introduction.
No, I feel you. It's okay.
Yeah, most of the time our actual
usually
guests
do-
have something going on for them. So
Oh, okay.
You know
No,
what?
I feel
Okay.
what?
I'm sorry. You know what? This
Nah.
is gonna be a very
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're starting off like
no.
that. We're starting off like
I
that.
told you to go watch the other videos beforehand.
Yeah, bro.
No. So it's fine.
Damn, how do we keep this going? It's been a minute since we had to do this. Stranger Things, bro. What?
What did you guys think?
First off,
Okay.
let's go through
Okay.
whole show wise, 1 through 10, rate it.
And that's really hard to do, because when you get to a point that the show ends on such a bad note, it makes anything you've watched up to that point really hard to appreciate unless it's isolated.
Okay. Look.
At least for me.
So again, rate the show.
The whole show?
Okay. Look. Okay. I'll rate it by season.
3.5 out of 10, nigga.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll rate it by season. Season 1, I agree about a 6. I wasn't really. I was kind of
6 out of 10?
It started off slow for me. I wasn't really into it. I don't even really remember exactly what happened in season 1, other than a few minute details. Season 2 was boring as shit. I hated season 2.
You hated season 2?
I hated
Season
season
2.
2.
One of my favorite seasons.
No, I hated season 2. Season 3, I loved it. Loved
Oh,
season
yeah,
3.
season 3 is great.
Season 4, phenomenal. I love season 4. That was probably like when it hit its peak.
Yes,
Season
that was
5,
like 9 out of 10.
season 5 kind of dropped back down to like 7.5 for me. I hated the ending.
I say 6.5.
I don't even want to talk about that fight first. That final fight scene, it just seemed like they led up to a bunch of nothing.
That final fight scene
actually,
had so much plot armor, it was insane.
No, but let's take this into consideration. That final fight was about 6 minutes long. You know what was longer? Will's coming out scene.
Okay, we're gonna get. We're gonna
We're gonna go back to that bullshit.
I just want but still, okay. You rated each and every one. Add all that together. What would you say? Whole show, 1 out of 10.
7.5.
7.5.
It had its highs, but it most definitely
He reminded me of season 3.
No, when they have
Which
lows,
is gonna bring back to a 5.5.
they were very low. The lows are very low, but the highs were phenomenal.
Yeah.
The highs would be like, oh, okay, but the lows were just
Again, it's really hard to judge
Just
the
rate
show
it.
as a whole. I said 5.5. He reminded me of season 3, and I was like, damn, season 3 was magical. I love that season. So I brought it up from 3.5 to 5.5 because I was being really harsh. But it's really hard to do that when your last season is just that bad.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones is much worse.
I have never watched Game of Thrones, and I will never.
Okay.
Haven't finished watching Game of Thrones, but from what I understand about the show, Game of Thrones is much worse. The fall off was so much worse.
Yeah, it seemed like the last season they just said,
Fuck it.
yeah,
Literally.
basically. Is this podcast clean? Or is it?
Honestly, we never decided that.
We always go back and forth with it.
We really do. Let's just keep it clean.
Yeah.
I'll bleep that one out, and then we'll just leave it alone for that. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry.
You know, if we're keeping it a bean, I'm just saying, because I know once we get into like the nitty gritty details, especially with Marty Supreme, there's probably gonna be some moments, especially you probably just gonna be sitting there laughing. I know when it gets down to it, me and him probably gonna never. Yeah, it's. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's why I was really asking.
Yeah.
But
That might be a Patreon only episode. We'll find out.
Okay, so let's do this. Favorite character?
Oh, Max.
Why?
Why?
No, why?
Why can't a black man like?
No.
Why can't we love a black woman?
No. Why is Max your favorite character?
Why is Max my favorite character?
Yes.
She actually has a good character arc. They gave her something to do during season 3 and season 4 that actually mattered for the show.
Okay.
Especially during 4.
Okay.
Right? I feel like Sadie Sink genuinely was acting circles around certain characters in the show. Also, it's just Sadie Sink. I just love
Okay.
it.
See, that's what
I'm saying, like,
that's what I was looking for.
I'm saying that's a slice of a nice.
I will give it to you.
stereotype.
Sadie Sink is the best. Like of the kids, she's the best actor out of all of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Followed up with like either Lucas or.
Caleb was good too. Caleb.
Caleb, he's
Caleb,
he's
yeah.
definitely a good actor.
It's either Caleb or it's Gaten. Those two act their asses off.
Gaten.
Yeah. Well, I'm also thinking of like acting as like their entire career. I have never seen Gaten act outside of Stranger Things.
He's a Broadway kid.
It's the Disney Channel effect, bro. Like they're not gonna like he's doing music shit now.
No, he was
He's doing
on
music stuff now.
He was on Broadway before Stranger Things. That was his main bag.
So is Caleb.
Yeah, Caleb was
So-
like Lion King Broadway.
Yeah, but Caleb was acting more than he was doing Broadway. Gaten was just Broadway, and then
Gaten, Joe Keery, both of them are finna go back to their music. Same thing with Finn Wolfhard as well too.
you know Joe
He wants to go
Keery.
back
He's
to
going.
music.
He's filming a movie right now.
Finn.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
he got blonde hair right now and everything.
Oh. Joe Keery as Gambit? That's a conversation for another day.
No,
As Gambit?
no.
I could see it.
No.
I could see it. I would want to see.
I see what you're
You're trying to insinuate, but no.
no.
I could see him doing it.
The taste is like
Here's my thing. After seeing certain actors pull off certain things, I'm like, people be having range that you don't know about until you give them a chance to step outside.
no.
the
He
comfort
doesn't have the look though.
The look?
I don't know.
Yeah, the look is creatable because people didn't think, what is it? Channing Tatum had the look.
No, Channing Tatum has like no. I could see it. Me and Channing, he has the Gambit as a whole is asshole. Joe Keery just doesn't give me asshole by looking at him.
That's literally what Steve's character was meant to be in season 1, and then he evolved the character.
Yeah, but he's just playing 80s asshole, not
Modern.
adult asshole. You know what I'm saying?
But there you go. Yeah, who's your favorite character?
Yeah, I don't got one. None of the characters were like that. I was like, I got a favorite. I don't really think I have a favorite.
I think.
And if I did have to choose one, then I'll probably have to go with what was Max's brother?
Oh, Billy?
Yeah.
Billy was a great character.
Yeah.
Me. I'm gonna say.
Oh wait. Okay. Wait. What's the him? Murray.
Murray.
Murray?
Yeah.
Yeah, Murray.
Yeah.
Nah, Murray was cool.
Yeah.
Murray was cool. That was a great
Yeah.
character.
If you're talking about just overall for me, it was probably Murray. Or Eddie.
Eddie. Okay.
Murray or Eddie.
Murray or Eddie. Okay, we're going to talk about Eddie. We're going to talk about that.
Okay. For me, I'm gonna say my favorite character is Will.
We're really going to have to unpack that there for you.
There's not a lot to unpack, because if you think about the story and the character arc of Will from season 1 all the way to season 5.
Yes.
He grew up.
I get it. I see where you're coming from. He is the plot device of the show.
Not just a plot device. I've said this before. I've said this before to you. Will is in some shape form the main character.
No.
He is the main character of the inciting. He is the inciting incident.
I would say,
and then he is also
the main character is not the inciting incident. That's what I'm saying. He's the plot device. He's so interwoven with the actual story itself. You cannot have the show without Will being present. But that does not make him the main character.
Okay, wait. Just for sort of clarification, Will.
No snap.
Okay.
Yeah.
He.
Be nice. I'm finding it.
No. Wait. No, he's the main character there because.
Now I feel like he's about to rage bait the fuck out.
No. Okay, no. I'm just leave it there. He's the main character. But overall, he's the main character.
Overall.
But there were scenes like especially the first season, he was kind of in and out. Like he got taken.
He was in and out.
And then he was just insinuated. Yeah, 11 is kind of like the main character. But as far as like,
and they kind of fight back and forth right around like season 4 for who is the main character of the show at that point.
I feel like the main character kind of switched so many times though.
There are three main characters you can say that are overall throughout the entire show. There are 3 main characters. That's Mike, Will, and 11.
Yes.
Those are the main 3 characters of this entire show.
I don't know if Mike is. I would say Mike is the main character.
Because Mike is basically he's the leading man. He's also the narrator.
Yes. He's the one that actually gets the plot moving. Like, he's the one that took an 11. He's the one that blah 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 X, Y, and Z. All that type of stuff.
I mean, I would say he's more so. No, I was
a lot of things. Like again, a lot of things that happened to 11 was shown from Mike's perspective.
Yeah, but I feel like there's more. Okay, I guess. Okay.
And then if it wasn't being shown from Mike's perspective, it's 11.
Right.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, all of it was Will though.
Yeah.
Yep. And 11 is the one that solves everyone's problems. Except for this last season.
She calls the problems.
Phoned in this last season.
The problem started with her.
She did not cause the problems.
She did not directly cause the problems, but as far as the other characters, literally, just
for the first 3 seasons, 11 was literally the solution to everything. Which is why I think they switched it up so much in season 4. They changed so much and retconned so much in season 4, looking back now.
In what way?
They introduced the idea that she's the one that sent Henry to the abyss.
Caused it.
Right. They, They kind of alluded to this idea that 11 shouldn't exist at all. The military was not trying to come after her so they can make more of her. They were coming after her so they could end the program altogether. That's what the black dude was trying to do with his military unit in season 4. Until whatever her name that's trying to be Sigourney Weaver showed up and took over. Like, they retconned this whole idea of 11 being the core solution for everything in the show and made her the problem of the show. They revealed it's like, oh, she was the reason that everything happened all along. Had 11 not been around in the tank messing around with the Demogorgon, the Upside Down would never been created. Henry would have never came back. She created Henry. All of that happened because of her. So like
she didn't.
No, she didn't.
She created Henry.
First off, Henry created her.
Yeah.
No. Okay, my fault. You know what? I'll be more specific.
Henry created her, and Henry still would have done. No. Henry was always okay.
Henry was always Vecna. She sent him.
Henry was always connected to the Mind Flayer before her.
When he got that rock, that's when that connection started.
Sure.
His entire plan in general still would have led out if 11 was still there. It wasn't there.
Nah, because he killed all the kids.
If 11 would have died with all those kids, the world still would have ended.
How? He had no way to access the abyss. 11 sent him to the abyss. He couldn't even do that himself. There's nothing to state that Henry was able to do that himself.
I'm not saying. Okay, yes, we can say that 11 gave him that plot for his new plan of connecting the worlds, but he was always still going to end the world in some way, with or without 11.
Right. That's why I changed it. She didn't create Henry. She didn't create one. That was already pre-established as it was. She created Vecna because she gave him the opportunity to merge with the Mind Flayer the way that he was inside the Abyss. That was all created. And she created the Upside Down when she reconnected with the Demogorgon inside the tank. All of that happened. Mm-hmm. Essentially, the plots of 1, 2, 3, and 4 happened because of 11. And that only came to revelation during 4. We only learned all that information during 4. They did heavy retcons. And looking back at it, I'm like...
That's not a retcon. That's just part of the
I feel
story.
like they clarified.
Okay, I'll give you that. For me, it just like... It changed the tone of the show where it was like... 11 was this special thing that was the solution to everybody's problems. And then you get a reality check that, oh no, she's the thing that caused all the problems. And she's part of this long spreading, essentially, disease on the earth itself.
Yeah, okay. For me, overall with the show, I feel like 1 and 2 versus seasons 3 through 5 felt like 2 completely different shows to me.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the thing that kind of threw me off. Because when I first seen 1 and 2, I was not really impressed. I was not impressed going into season 3, and I only really watched it.
Because it's like Goonies type 80s,
Yeah.
90s,
When I first seen it, I was kind of like,
Super 8 type shit.
You know how many times I had to rewatch that first episode just to like get through it? Like I would fall asleep on it every time, and it took me so long. And I really only I skipped over it. Like I watched the first like 3 episodes of season 2 and I skipped over it, and then then I went right to season 3. Then after I watched season 3, I went back and watched season 2.
That's crazy. So that's why season 2 is the weakest for you.
Yeah, no, I went back and watched it now, but I still think it wasn't. It just kind of filled in some gaps, but like I still don't think it was. I feel like they kind of found they motion with seasons 3 through 5.
3 was a great season.
Yeah,
3 and 4, but 3 and 4 are like completely different shows.
Yeah, I feel like season 1 and 2 was more so for like a niche audience. They wasn't expecting it to get as big as it did, and then in 3 through 5, that's when Netflix was like, no, take the budget.
Pretty much.
However much you need, make it. Go big or go home. You know, Mind Flayer, big. Yeah, do it all.
If I'm being so for okay, rank the seasons in order. Of course.
Okay, for me, I would say 4, 3, 5, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
I'm gonna go. I agree with you. 4, 3, 1, 2, 5. 5's at the bottom for me. 5 was just that bad.
Okay.
I don't think 5 was
state
worse than 1
what
or
you
2.
don't like about 5, because it's really like.
I feel like you got a
confusing me.
vendetta.
It's really confusing me.
No, like genuinely. Okay, those first 4 episodes of 5, that was great stuff. It brought us back to Hawkins. It reminded us of all the characters. It brought back all the references to season 1, all the different things that are happening. What is going on right now?
I'm seeing her like listen and agree. The entire time I've been seeing her in the background like being like yes, or making a face like what?
Here's my thing. My spices are tingling. I'm like, I think we have a live audience because you said, "Hey, go chill in my room." So I'm like, she's been in the room the whole time. I'm like, nah, she's behind me.
Yeah,
she's behind me the whole time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All right. The first 4 episodes were great. Even the ending, like TikTok was alive, bro. And when we saw Will get powers, we was like, Will, Callie, and 11 is finna cook the out of Vecna.
Yeah.
We're done for.
And
this is about to be
technically
crazy.
they did.
And technically,
No, they
it
did.
happened.
They did.
It did.
it happened.
But the in-between of 5, 6, and 7 completely deteriorated the entire show for me. I'm like, what is happening right now? There were so many plot holes. There were so many things missing. So many unanswered questions. So many things that were completely unnecessary. Why in the world is
Okay, if you're
Karen
gonna say-
Wheeler
if-
killing demodogs?
What's okay? Due to the factor that why is it that Karen Wheeler can't kill a demigod, but literally anyone else in the cast can?
What do you mean? First off,
She
we're
didn't
gonna
know.
talk
I
about-
feel like-
we're gonna talk about the Wheeler plot armor. Part of me loves it, but the other part of me hates it because it completely disintegrates the idea of season 1 and season 2 with the threat of the Demogorgons and the monsters as a whole, which you see in the season finale. Like, Karen Wheeler stabbed a Demogorgon with a wine bottle.
Okay.
And at first I was really thinking, I'm like, is she about to kill this thing with a wine bottle? But then she got swiped in the chest, and I was like, oh, okay. The Demogorgon still got it. Next thing you know, a Demodog jumps at Lucas, and he kicks it, and it somehow is just enough force for him to close that elevator and to get past it. That has never happened in the show once. The Demodogs are strong. They have literally...
I'm gonna say one character's name, and that's gonna entirely kill your argument.
Okay, let's see what happens here.
Hopper.
Hopper?
That man killed not just a demi. He killed a Demogorgon by himself.
He did not kill a full-size Demogorgon. He even stated that Demogorgon was smaller than usual.
It was in Russia.
Yes,
in the cold.
Yes.
Where it lives.
It was in Russia, in the cold. It was smaller than usual. He had help. He had a flaming sword.
He didn't have
and that was a very
sword.
one case. He even states, we got lucky. Then, again, episode 4, Demogorgons come out the woods. They like, oh, we killing everything on sight. Derek said it best. I've seen what we're up against. Your men are not capable of handling this. 5 minutes later, everyone dies.
I don't feel
Yet
like
the kids
I don't
are
feel like that's
somehow
an
able to fight
inconsistency.
Demogorgons. There's an inconsistency of anybody that's
Okay,
actually
okay,
important to the
that's
show.
what I'm saying. I get what he's saying now.
Heavy plot.
Okay, no, that makes perfect sense. Okay, that wonder that they had, literally all of the kids were fine, but it just seems like you have military personnel with access to entire military arsenals on a military base, and all of them got wiped out in 5 minutes. But the kids, they can run from them the whole season.
When I thought about that, and then I thought about that opening scene of season 4 of Will with a BB shotgun somehow surviving the Demogorgon.
He was never supposed to die.
And then he got kidnapped, and I was like, okay, that makes sense.
That Demogorgon was there to kidnap him, not kill him.
It was never there to kill him. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna let that go, right? And then here's the wrap up. Any dispute about whether or not the Demogorgons are strong enough to kill people gets destroyed because plot armor was so strong. The Demogorgons went on PTO for the rest of the last episode, bro.
I genuinely think they got depleted at that point. I think there was this one thing that I kind of saw, the mind flare at the end.
Yes.
Steve and Dustin were stabbing at the bottom. When they were stabbing it, you could hear like little cries. I think that was like baby Demogorgons or something like that.
So you think that the same way the
No,
flesh
I feel like
monster
those are
was
the,
made in season 3? Do you
I feel like
think
those are
that's
like the
how it
flying
made?
bat things. Those flying things that kill Eddie.
It could be a combination of all of it.
The dogs, the bats, the actual full-size Demogorgons, whatever it was. Do you think it was maybe like a flesh monster situation, like how season 3 was?
No.
Then at that point, again, the Demogorgons literally said, "Oh, Nancy Wheeler coming? We're gonna put her on our PTO. We'll be back next week."
No. What I think actually happened,
I think they depleted at that point. Like
I feel like they used up the VFX budget.
That's literally what it was. They used up the VFX budget, and they couldn't. And the Duffer Brothers realized we have to send them into the horde of Demogorgons that should be guarding Vecna. When 3 of these things just wiped out a military base. There's not enough plot armor in the world to save them. We just have to remove the Demogorgons entirely. We just have to. And again, the show has way too many inconsistencies with its season 3, season 4 logic, and just the general pace of the show that I'm like...
No, because even when you see Vecna in... what did they actually call this new dimension?
The Abyss.
The Abyss.
Yeah. When you see Vecna in the Abyss for the first time in earlier seasons, there were monsters everywhere. They roamed around the place. There's a whole scene of him walking through there, and you literally see Demogorgons and Demodogs just there. So the fact that they weren't there, it literally just has to be a case of they literally just used up the VFX budget just wasn't there.
Yeah. Also a thing that was said is that the Abyss looked the first time they show the Abyss of like him being sent to the Abyss, it looks entirely different than in this season. Which my thought process is he did something to it in the sense. Because
He
the
didn't
mind
have that much
flayer
control.
didn't have a physical body when he first met the mind flayer.
Did it?
When you first see the mind flayer, it's how it shows up the first time. How we see it in the first season.
Shadows.
Yeah,
The shadows.
the smoke
We
cloud.
don't see it like when he gets sent to the abyss. The first when Henry
Yeah,
gets
it's
sent to the abyss.
particle.
It's
The
a
mind
smoke.
flayer
It's the
particles.
particle version of him. You don't
So
see.
maybe then all the Demogorgons did form into that fleshy monster, whatever thing.
Possibly.
But if that's the thing, then why haven't they came out and said that? Which will clear up a lot of people. Like, if you see Twitter right now, they're dragging them.
They are dragging the hell out of it because it's so funny. Because it's like, where are the literal main plot device for the antagonist? Where is it? There should be hundreds of them. Also, Nancy Wheeler somehow is outgunning trained military soldiers.
Huh? What?
Yeah.
Again, now Hop, I will give that. They alluded to like Hop was in the military during like Vietnam or something like that, or blah blah blah, whatever. I'll give Hop that because he does get his ass handed to him on certain occasions. Against the Russian in season 3, there was somebody in season 4 he fought. Like he gets in fights and loses. But Nancy and other characters are somehow fighting these monsters with no scratches.
You give her a gun, basically, she's invincible.
She's literally. I was like, hey, if anybody's not dying this season, it's Nancy. Nancy gonna live through this. We call them walking down wheelers for a reason. Come on.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the episode that apparently just no one likes for no reason. Of season 5 being episode 7. For one, the hate on it is absolutely absurd. The overly hate on it is absolutely absurd because you have two sides that are hating on it for specific reasons. The one side being like, we didn't get Byler, and then the other side being like, he's gay.
Okay.
There's two very
And then there are people,
hard ends
and then
of
there's
that.
like the reasonable people that don't like it, but even still, the people that find some of the reasonable people that don't like it, I still don't understand.
Okay.
Here's
let me-
what I'll
let
say.
me-
For the middle range people, it did not hold up. Again, Twitter and TikTok was on fire after episode 4 dropped because we was like, oh, niggas is finna lock in. Vecna finna get this nat 20. Will, Callie, and 11 is finna cook. That was not the same energy at the end when we saw that last scene of 11 serving face as they were about to drive into the Upside Down. That was not the same feeling I was getting, even though that's what you should have been getting. You should have got the feeling that the team is together. They got every weapon known to mankind. They had flamethrowers, guns, rifles, everything.
Okay, let's talk about this. Not just the episode, but the specific scene that everyone's up for.
Now, first off,
Wait.
one end of things.
Before we get to that, the scene where Max escapes, is that episode 7?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I have
Gang,
no,
that-
wait a minute. I have some problems with that too, because I ain't cut.
Wait, let me explain this beforehand because I saw someone say this and I actually agree. People were saying, why are they taking their time? One, because they took the path through Henry's mind that he cannot access, so he can't get it there, no matter what. I saw that and I agree with that because they took the path that he cannot access, he can't get to them overall. The reason that he was able to get Holly after the fact that she left is because she wasn't in a spot where he can't not get to her. She was in the real world.
Physically, yeah.
She was physically in the world. Of course he can get to her.
No. I get that. But I'm just saying, for the sake of, okay, we're not supposed to be talking about production, but just like, they had to write this scene out. Like, I get it, like, for the sake of like, but it didn't have to be that long.
It didn't have to be that long. It could have been explained earlier. She could have been prepping her for this.
How could it have been explained earlier?
It could have been explained
She
earlier.
literally realized that in that moment.
No.
Yes.
No. She
Yes.
said she talked about the last time that she had been there and how when she got close enough, she could feel Lucas's hand touching hers.
And she had to explain that to her.
realization. She
And
had
what time
already-
beforehand could she
She had already previously explained how she almost got out. She could have explained then, we have to find you a point that you can get out. You have to connect back to your loved ones in order to do that.
Okay,
She
okay.
could have spent all that time explaining that to her.
Yes, but I mean, from the perspective of what he's referring to, as far as them having the ability to take their time, I understand, at least to a certain extent, them actually fleshing out that scene a little bit more. But I still don't think it needs to be that damn long. Like, if I'm watching it and it's taking me out of the show, then I'm thinking like, damn, this scene is long as shit. It's too long.
That part. And then also, if the scene actually is doing that, recognize that your audience is actually going to ask questions about that. They was calm as hell, sitting there chatting, having a nice little podcast episode. You know what I'm saying? Like, Hollywood could have been like, on some like, we gotta go. It's like, he can't come to us here. We went through Henry, the one memory Henry won't touch. Like, he won't follow us through this way. We have time.
So is he?
They could have explained that in the show.
I mean, yes, but also they're in his head. But no,
It
but like,
wasn't. It wasn't. No, it was all the pieces were left out.
That entire canyon, like specifically when you go to that cave, after you leave the cave into the canyon, Henry can't go there. That is all his mind.
Fair.
no, but okay, but in that perspective, they were there a lot of season 4 too. Does he just not have access to it at all?
No, even Max explained when they were traversing that canyon part. Again,
No,
Max
I understand
said she's
that.
been all over his mind.
Right.
She has explored almost his entire mind.
So my point.
So she knows where he can't go. And
So my point is to that, right? Is that if you have a room that can get accessed by multiple different doors, what's stopping Henry from going through
Another door?
That he can go through or wants to go through and still being like, "Boo, I got you now." Like,
Which he absolutely could have, because he got there
he was
before.
he was still prioritized with Will.
Sure, I'll give you that part. They don't know that. Actually, he was excising Will and doing a damn good job of it.
They don't know that.
Right. They don't know that. So they don't know what's happening or how long they have or anything like that. There was just no sense of urgency. And then all of a sudden she stops.
Well, actually, no. Those two scenes are entirely in two different places. But still,
You gotta go find your own way. And she did Holly a little bogus, but she made up for it. And what I do like what that says about Holly's character. I don't know what it is about them absolutely glazing the Wheelers, because at first it was just Nancy, and then the entire family minus Ted got
Except the
glazed
dad.
over.
Except the dad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Minus Ted, the entire family got glazed this season. Everyone got plot armor. Everyone can kill a Demogorgon. Everyone was just on 10 the entire season. And I love that for Holly, but I was like, you just adding on to the fuel in the fire of like, why are the Wheelers just like that? It was weird, but I was okay with it. I just got used to it and I was just like, all right, this is just what it is. Heroic Holly to the rescue. And she did a good job. She got them kids up out of there. She had to smack one of them down one time. I was like, yeah!
okay. Let's go. Let's talk about the other scene.
Let's talk about the damn, what is it? Gay elephant in the room.
The rainbow elephant.
Listen, any of y'all that actually thought Byler was going to happen, I think y'all need to like rewatch this show properly. Cause like looking back, Will was gay from the jump. That boy was confused from the jump. But that being said, right? Mike was never interested in him in any shape, form, or fashion.
His main goal was 11 the whole time.
Literally, he has literally never had eyes on another woman other than 11.
Right. One of the things I will say is, all right, one of the biggest gripes about that scene is people were like, why is the entire group there? He explains beforehand to his mom of why the entire group needs to be there. He cannot have anyone that he is with at that time he needs to tell everyone so that he can not feel like...
So he can feel free.
So he can feel free with everyone knowing and being okay with who he is.
So what you're telling me is that this plan could have literally backlashed if Hopper been like, nah, you gay? No, we can't do this. You can't ride with me today. Like, no.
But also...
No, that's what I'm saying. It's
no one's gonna, like...
It makes it seem like Vecna's whole plan was bullying him.
Written and put together in episode 6. or at the beginning of 7. It should not have been the tail end of 7.
Why?
Moments before we go to war.
Nigga,
And we've talked about this.
We talked about this, and I explained. It is explained. Again, that's another thing that people were constantly on. They were like, why is he telling everyone this right before they're about to go? They explained that they have to wait for the two planets to get close enough. In no time, and Vecna hadn't even started yet. He didn't start it till after that scene.
Mighty convenient that the plot just decides to work for Will. One, I'm not saying about that. I'm saying, why was the show written like that? Why would you write it like that? Like, you could have spent that time in much better preparation. You could have done other things with that time. You could have broken it up to have characters
what possibly would you have put in that time that would have made sense?
Max and 11 have literally never talked about the fact that Max has been in a coma for 2 damn years. Max doesn't even realize that Hopper is still alive because when she went into a coma, Hopper was still in Russia.
Max and Hopper barely had interactions beforehand.
No recollection.
There is no reason
nothing
for that.
like that. Anything of that nature. Anything with
to the point where they would actually need to have a conversation with each other.
I mean, in season 2, they actually did have a pretty good relationship. Season 2 and 3, they spoke here and there.
I'm saying there was room for them to do other stuff. Dustin kind of just gets mind you, it was with Steve, so that was important. But the others don't even realize that Dustin was going through it over the death of Eddie. And nobody ever consoles him about it except for Steve.
So then you want Dustin to sit everyone down and talk about his feelings for Steve?
No. But it should have been, you could have had a moment with him and Lucas. You could have had a moment with him and Mike. You could have done something and spread out the length of what we need to do with these characters.
Why? Okay.
Because it's how you interact with characters.
None of the other characters had a connection with Dustin to the point of where Dustin and Eddie, where that conversation would have made sense. They specifically
the 3 of them talking about how Dustin has been crashing out since episode 1 of season 5, and how they were worried about him, and then them noticing a visible change in his attitude and his persona after he got back from the Upside Down,
and he figured it out with Steve.
I get that. Steve is his best friend, though. Cool, got it. But there's shit.
It's also been made clear that Okay, I saw someone talk about this specifically with the 4 friends, the four main boys. Mike and Will are best friends. They have known each other since childhood.
Yes.
While
Lucas got added in 3rd, and
Lucas got added in 3rd, but specifically when it comes to the friendships, it's Mike and Lucas. Or not Mike. Yes, Mike and Lucas are the more friends specifically with certain things. And then the one thing that truly connects if we're talking about connections in a friend group, when you have a friend group of more than 2 people, there's always going to be a synergy between different friends.
Yes.
And that's what happens. And Dustin has always been kind of the outsider of that friend group.
I will say maybe a little bit to that. If anything, he has a dis-energy or dis-synergy with Lucas. The 2 of them always butt head about something.
Yeah, the 2 of them always butt heads, but also just the entire friend group. He has always been the outsider. Also, Dustin is way more mature than all of them. He's smarter. He's always way more mature. That's why he's always
mature.
I don't know about mature. Smarter, yes.
Smarter, yes.
He is way more mature than the others. Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like the most mature is Lucas.
Most mature absolutely is Lucas. Lucas has been the common ground.
Literally, Dustin's whole thing with why he got beat up in the whole sense, why everything went wrong in the beginning of the season was because he couldn't get over. He literally messed up a mission because he just had to throw a snake in Dude Locker. That's not mature.
You know what I'm saying?
That's not a mature character arc.
Oh, let's not talk about the fact that his cat died because he brought home an alien dimensional pet that he knew was an alien dimensional pet.
Okay, let's not say more mature, but still, he's way more smarter. But also, he looks up to older people more. That's why he became. That's why he's.
Yeah, like him and Steve, they bond over that and all that type of stuff. Like, I get it. He's the smartest of the group,
and they set that up from season 1.
I'm saying that while I think and I understand why it was important for Will's character to have this moment, even to your point of everybody being there for this moment. First off, Max hugging him and Audible trying to hug him because she couldn't.
I've already explained to you.
All that type of bull, like that.
I've already
that
explained
was
you that.
Unnecessary.
I've already explained to you why.
But
and I'm gonna I'll say it.
That should have been something.
The reason some people were also saying that why are Will and Max like. Why are they forcing Will and Max to have a friendship?
85, yeah.
There's a whole show that's gonna come out about their time, but also the entire friend group spent an entire summer together that we did not see. There was an entire time skip of a whole summer that we did not see, and the entire friend group was together.
Yeah.
So of course, all of them are going to have a better friendship, and we're probably going to see Will and Max have a better friendship coming together.
Yeah, but the girlfriends never acknowledged each other about the fact that one of them's been in a coma for 2 years and some bull.
There's no what? That is such a random plot that doesn't need to be talked about.
What are you talking about? The 2 best friends that bonded during season 3, they spent a good portion of season 3 together.
They did.
Also, by the time you gotta think about, Elle was away from everyone mostly throughout the season, or throughout like the second half of the season. She was away from most of the cast, doing other stuff. So think about a thought process. Think about a thought process of, okay, yes, I see my best friend. They acknowledged each other, yes.
This is girls. This isn't me. This isn't me and you. Me and you could go 2 years without seeing each other, and we're gonna be like, "Oh, what's up, honey?" Like that's a different situation with ladies.
Okay, let's ask her. Let's ask the lady in here. If you were going through a world-ending situation, are you gonna want to sit down and have a 2-hour talk with your best friend?
You're not having 2 hours, 6 minutes, no 5 minutes.
Well, an emotional moment of your friend that the last time you saw was in a coma and couldn't move her body.
Then y'all gonna sit there and have a conversation.
5 minutes.
And also, when they first saw each other, they were already doing something. When they came back, they were planning a bunch of stuff.
She's done more for Mike in certain situations, who's never been in that grave of danger. They have more
her boyfriend.
Yes, her boyfriend. Her boyfriend that she dumped because of Max. That's her girl. That's her day one.
Which I have a whole gripe about that, but
that's some real stuff though. That's real.
But of course, she's going to do more for her boyfriend, her first love.
Sure. Yes, I get that.
Okay.
All I'm saying is that there was never a moment where Max and 11 were like, "Gang, you're alive."
The world was ending.
Also, we're just gonna leave this in the air. Max graduated.
I didn't see that. I saw someone run that.
Somehow graduated.
Hey.
Like in that coma.
That GPA must have been high before she went.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how did you... Lucas was phoning in all the tests or something like that. Like, what? I don't know.
How long was she in the coma?
2 years.
Yeah.
Between the end of
they
season
were
4?
Freshmen in high school. It was a 2-year time skip. And then another 18 months.
Okay.
So she somehow made up 2 years worth of school in 18 months.
What you think her GPA was?
Shit.
Gang.
Like I was gonna say, she must have had a high GPA beforehand.
No, even still. You
No, she didn't. Look at her home life.
That's what I'm saying. No. Her brother's gone. She's hanging with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend's black. There's no way.
Look at her life in general. That girl was never studying.
No.
If Dustin was valedictorian,
that's completely different.
Dustin is just like that though. Dustin's extremely smart.
Dustin's secondary best friend was a teacher.
Dustin built an entire radio system that could rival the what do they call it? The Whisquat? What is it called again? The radio station. It's from season 5. I can't. Yeah, I forgot what the abbreviation was for though.
She just said it.
WSQK, but what does it stand for? Whatever. That could rival that. Like, also, why did they never bring Cerebro back?
What?
Cerebro from season 3.
Who?
The radio tower that Dustin built to communicate with Susie.
Oh, I probably heard. I think.
It
Who
never.
knows? I didn't even like Susie as a character anyway. It was so unnecessary. It was so unnecessary.
I'm sorry. What?
Or that plot for that plot.
That was
okay, I get
such
it.
a great
Dustin has a
plot.
girl. That Dustin has a girl. If you want to talk about time wasting,
Sure. The song in season 3 was a wasted piece of time.
Oh yeah, them singing.
Y'all pissed off about Max standing there or Will coming up to people. This
At
girl,
least-
he explained people were going to die, and she still said,
But she
"Sid."
doesn't actually know what's happening. Max knew what was happening. Max knew what was
He
going
said
on.
people were going to die. I need this, and she still
And
said,
she's like,
"I'm gonna need you to
it's
sing
like,
for
oh,
me."
you and your games, and he can't tell her the truth.
Why
he
not?
can't explain the truth. Susie probably still doesn't even know the damn truth. Let's think about that for a second.
They broke up.
Yeah,
Oh, she definitely broke up with him. She definitely did that. But that being said, like, what are we doing right now? What are we? We're both like, what is happening?
I get ADHD, bro. I need to occupy my body physically
No,
somewhere
but,
else. I'll get my leg could get to bouncing, and you'll have some troubles with that. You know.
Moving on.
Okay. Will's gay.
Will's
That's it.
gay.
Will's
Will
gay.
should have been given more to do, and I don't like how they nerfed his abilities.
And then they gave him
Will-
a random boyfriend at the end.
I like. Okay, specifically with the last like most action scene that happened of I'm forgetting your character's name. Will's mom kills Vecna. She ends it all, which I love. That I actually really liked that scene.
Yes.
For me, I would have liked for Will to be more part of the killing of Vecna.
No, it should have been everyone should have had a part, but I understand everybody's just sitting there
Yeah,
like
I don't
shocked.
believe everyone should have had a part.
Like,
If
legitimately.
specifically killing Vecna, I feel like Will out of everyone, Will and L, like Will and L were the ones that truly like they ended him the first time before he like seized himself back to life for a little second and stuff like that, and then it was Will's mom that fully ended it. And I even get that scene. She's been through the most as a mother
Yes.
of her son being taken in the first place. So of course I like that.
It's cathartic to have her do it. I'm not saying that. It's the fact of that, like, Vecna's ending felt so abrupt, especially as they tried to make you sympathize with the character. Like, Henry is just as much trapped in this cycle of destruction as everyone else, and then Henry basically says,
I made a
I
choice.
chose
That
this
was
shit.
that was a
I
good choice.
chose
That was a good
this."
choice of writing. If they would have redeemed him, I would have been mad.
Yeah.
There was no like. There are too many times that they redeem characters, and then they redeem him, and the character kills themselves off and stuff like that. Like Billy.
Billy's revival, Billy's redemption.
Billy was right. It was justified. It was good, but if we're talking like if he was the somewhat
Billy-
villain of
Let me
the.
tell you,
Billy was
that.
Billy
Do you
was an
think that we
a-hole.
could have had Billy or Eddie come back?
No,
No, there was
it would
no.
have took away from it. But no,
Yes.
Billy was an a-hole, but he was not evil.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like,
No.
I mean, in the sense of, I was just giving an example of when they give a villain a redemption and then they end them, and then they sacrifice themselves.
Oh, they couldn't
I would
do
have
it
said
again.
that, like, again, like, what? A lot of times, just let a villain be a villain. Too many movies and shows do that a lot. Of they take a character, they take a villain, and then the villain will be a villain all the way through, or even then they will try and make you sympathize with the villain a little too much, and then at the end the villain will be like, I did it for this, and then they like, example, Blue Beetle, the villain.
Oh yeah, no, that but that.
You
that's a
can't.
terrible-
Okay,
that's
it's a terrible example. You cannot throw.
Killmonger is a much.
I was gonna say if you said Killmonger,
Killmonger was
but
good, though.
but Killmonger.
Killmonger was good though. That's a good version
He
of
had a
it,
valid
because
reason.
the entire time they explain to you the entire time of why you need to sympathize with them. I'm saying when you start off a villain so evil for no reason, like with Killmonger, one of the first scenes.
Oh, Gore
is
Gore's
showing.
a better example.
Yes.
Gore's a better example.
Gore,
Love and Thunder.
yes,
Oh, no.
yes.
What about Namor? Namor?
Namor.
No. Well, I'm talking about villain. I'm talking about villains that sacrifice themselves at the end.
Yeah,
Killmonger
Namor's
never
still
sacrificed
around.
himself.
No, he's still around.
He just got whooped.
One of his little Flappy Birds is kind of missing. That might grow back. We don't
What?
know.
No,
But he's still around.
Okay.
No,
okay.
I'm saying he's not a example of that.
Yeah, he's. I don't. Well, kind
I'm
of.
saying no.
Everything that he did was for his people.
Again, I'm saying
A villain that sacrificed
a
himself.
villain that sacrifices themselves at the end,
I mean,
fully dies.
Killmonger-
Like fully dies. and
But
all.
Killmonger didn't sacrifice
Yeah,
himself.
Killmonger didn't do it. I'm just saying. No,
No,
Yeah,
he
he didn't really sacrifice.
No, he just got
himself.
whooped.
He
he
just was
died.
like,
He got beat.
Yeah.
he said, "Nah, I'm gonna take this out."
You finna throw me in jail.
But yeah, at the end of the day, it wouldn't have been good if that's when I would have been like season 5 was bad. If Vecna would have Henry would have redeemed himself. That was probably one of the best, especially, and I love that they did it with Will too, because Will is supposed to be a mirror of Henry. They are these one of the reasons why he is a main character. He's a main character is because he is throughout the entire time he is a mirror. They basically show us Henry's entire life through Will of how he goes through it.
Yeah.
Except Will never chose to be evil.
Can we talk about that for a second? Will was supposed to be a traitor, and you cannot convince me on any level that was not written into the damn script. People have torn that episode apart. That's the other problem with that whole monologue at the end of episode 7. It sets Will to be the traitor, and you can very clearly see that he is the damn traitor. The hand motions that Will, Henry, and Billy all make. The fact that he continues to never wear a jacket.
If I'm gonna say anything, I'm not gonna say that it's not, but I'm gonna give someone reason that I just thought of. Due to the fact that anytime Will and Vecna are mentally connected.
Yes.
So if anything, if we're talking about the milkshake thing or his hands or something like that, it could be it could be memory bleeds and stuff like that.
Someone should have picked up on that. Melvalds has never had milkshakes in their entire lifetime. Only in Henry's lifetime. Nigga, we ain't been in the forest since we got you out the forest.
I see what you're saying. I feel but I also feel like they didn't. It wasn't focused enough on those certain things to where it was a big problem.
It's just that the dial changing colors, certain things in the background.
That's just a
a
art
PD
department thing.
I know there were different things in both scripty and both in PD that were just
But again, that's not the Duffer Brothers' fault. That's not a writing.
That is the Duffer Brothers' fault because they had to review it.
As directors, that's not what you look at. That's the scripty and the art department's job. As a director, you
just have to approve it.
As a director, you're not supposed to. Your main thought isn't consistently continuity. Or even as a writer, as a writer, yes, you're thinking about continuity, but that's in the writing process, not about how certain
The
things.
Duffer Brothers helped write the damn show, right?
They wrote the
I'm
show.
talking about specifically for the dial thing. That's not their fault.
Yeah, the dial. All right,
That's an art department thing.
That's an art department.
Even when it comes to continuity wise, they're not gonna. That's such a little thing as a director that you're not thinking about.
Also, if they took the time to remove the Under Armour thing, they could have gone back and done something about the damn dial. They did take they removed the Under Armour thing.
But again, that was such a big thing that was continuity wise of the timeline, not
right. But now you have niggas,
not a dial.
Now you have
change.
niggas literally on the internet thinking that the entirety of episodes 5, 6, and 7 are being mind warped by Vecna, and we think that's what we're leading up to. And the Duffer Brothers are probably sitting there
I
on
saw-
Twitter like, what is
I
happening? This is not the ending of the show.
I forgot who
They're
said
gonna be
this.
so confused.
So I forgot who said this, but someone was it? I think it was Escape Podcast. Escape Podcast said this or not. People need to stop theorizing so much.
That is I will agree with you.
But also they said that. Oh yes, it was
Ridiculous.
that. People need to stop theorizing so much. But also directors need to stop giving so
Hyping
much
yes.
information just to hype up their.
The words bloodbath should never have been used to describe Volume 2.
Yeah, no.
Not a soul died in Volume 2. That mattered. None of the kids, none of the main characters, none of the side characters.
But they said they didn't want to do a red wedding type of thing.
So stop using words like bloodbath. That should never have been used as a word. Because we walked into season 5 like somebody finna die in this
about,
home.
like, it's definitely about like one. Especially nowadays, we're seeing directors take a big we're seeing a lot of directors write their stuff now.
Yes.
Anyway,
Which is great.
Yeah, it's great, but at the end of the day, because of that, we're also seeing directors be the ones to go on these press runs and stuff like that. They just need to be more careful about how they talk about it and stop giving so much
Away and overhyping what's actually going on.
Yes. Like leave that to like that's always going to be a thing when it comes to press runs for the actors to do. That's the whole point of what actors are doing during press runs.
And my whole point to that is that if you're gonna do it, they had to have done that, have already cut together and edited, and the episodes were done. Why would you mislead your audience with certain words? Like, here's my thing. I won't go too deep into all this. You can look at 5, 6, and 7 and tell there was a drastic pace, tone, and story change that somebody decided between episode 4 and the finale. 4 and the finale feel like there's a piece missing, and 5, 6, and 7 are not it. 5, 6, and 7 were inserted to fill in a gap that they had to remove. Those episodes do not make sense. Shock Jock started to, and then as soon as Vecna booted him from his mind and put him into a coma, that's when the writing was like, okay, something just changed. And I don't know what it is.
So even like when it comes to the kind of plot hole of Will possibly being a traitor, he said after he booted him and put him in a coma, he said he was going to be a traitor, and he used him for what he said he was going to be a traitor for. After that, it was fully speculation. That was what people were theorizing. Never once did they come out and say that Will would be a traitor after that.
They never said anything about they never showed the particles, they never showed anything like that, because that would have been something we would have known about. Also, how would he have infected him without his physical body? That's because he was infecting him with his mind. He was literally ripping the information from his mind to find out where Max was. That was all that he was doing at that time, to betray the others, which is such a cop-out for the word betray. Come on. Huh?
What?
It's not a cop out. Like
It's a cop out.
He didn't say betray. He said you're going to
You're gonna help me one last time.
yes, and he did that for.
You're gonna be my spy one last time.
Yeah, they didn't have to use the word spy.
And did
Yeah.
he?
No,
Yes.
that's not spying. That's not spying.
He found out the location of Max. And Max was keeping the one person that he needed to finish his plan.
That's spying entails that something is going to happen. This
Yeah.
has already happened. He already had the information. And Will didn't give it to him willingly or
That makes no-
forcibly.
Okay,
He just
no.
ripped it from him.
The point that they're trying to make is there, but you just described it all wrong. So
no, that entire point makes no sense.
But listen. Let me break it down to you, because I see the disconnect here. So yes and yes, but if we're talking about, okay, Vecna went to Vecna went toward his name is Will, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. Vecna went towards Will when he was getting that information. He didn't already have it. He got it from Will in that sense. You did not have to use the word spy because that's not spying. That's more so pulling information. Because after that, when somebody says spy in the sense of the way that they used it in the sense of, okay, I'm thinking even while watching the further episodes, just as a watcher, because he said you're gonna be my spy. In every scene after that, I'm thinking Will's gonna come back later and think he's pulling Vecna's still in his head. And
Well, no,
pulling that
not just that.
That's how it was
He
implied.
didn't say you're going to be a spy. He said you're going to be my spy one last time, implying that he has always been a spy. That's where you're taking that wording wrong. You're taking that wording wrong. He's always been a spy. Vecna has always.
Which is bull because after season 2,
No. He was always a spy because
He's always a spy.
No, the way that Vecna scoped a lot of stuff.
What does a spy do? They infiltrate and they put certain things in place to be for their organization or whatever to be able to take over.
I guarantee you, Vecna knows nothing about the Russians, unless it has to do with the Demodogs.
I don't think Vecna cares about the Russians.
No, I'm getting
the Russians have the Russians were a small plot for Hopper. That's it.
My point that I'm getting at is that when Joyce put that iron rod in her child's side during season 2, and the particles came out that boy, he was done. He was no longer a spy.
No,
he was still he was
again.
a spy.
Okay, Vecna can look at Christy, Max, any other person in season 3, season 3,
4,
4,
yeah,
any other person in season 4. He did not need, or even Billy. He controlled those people.
No.
He infiltrated their mind.
Infected Billy.
Season 4. He infiltrated people's minds without physically touching them.
He infiltrated people's minds. Yes. Was he using them as an actual spy like Billy and Will?
He's in their minds. He knows everything.
No.
I don't think he knows everything.
He doesn't know everything. No, he doesn't know everything.
Now,
Because Max knew everything about the show at that point. And he could have used so much information off of Max to hunt everybody down, but he didn't. To be honest with you, I don't even know how he found the Wheeler's household. He probably pulled that from Will's.
He had previously already infiltrated Holly. He infiltrated Holly. He infiltrated Holly's mind.
Yeah, he knew. That's how.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because he was already Mr. What's at that point.
He's looking through. Looked through a window and everything like that.
Again, he doesn't need to physically do anything to anyone to be able to get to them.
That completely boots out what Billy and Will were with the mind flayer particles. That completely boots them. Like, it makes their entire plot lines, like, why did you have to do all that? Why couldn't you just infiltrate their minds like you did?
Okay, to go back to what you said, he wasn't Vecna yet.
Yes, he was.
He was Vecna.
He was Vecna at that point.
If you're saying back to the start when he first infiltrated Will.
When he first infiltrated Will, and he went and did it to Billy, they both had particles inside of them.
He was Vecna from the point of.
He was Vecna from the point
when
that
Elle sent him into
when
space.
Elle sent him in, and Elle was a child still. She was like.
He was Vecna all the time.
Even still. Go just specifically talking about Will. He explained that no matter what he had. Will was the first person he ever infiltrated. Will has been infiltrated the most.
Yes.
So I think in a sense, and he's been all through Will's mind. He specifically said at night when Will would sleep, he made Will go and dig tunnels. That's the only thing I didn't get if Will was doing it with his mind or Will was physically getting up and digging.
No. Wait.
No. Using the Demogorgons.
Yeah.
And Will in tandem.
He's using the hive mind and
the hive mind.
The Demogorgons were doing the digging, but he was using Will's knowledge of the world to actually build it.
Which also is, I call bullshit because, my nigga, you from Hawkins. Why would you need Will to do that in the first place?
I mean, a lot of his youth after he got that stone though was spent in a lab.
Fair. No, because he went to high school. He went to high school with Joyce and them. Remember the flashback sequence that they were
Yeah, but like that makes no sense to me because if you got that stone,
that makes
You
no
know,
sense. To me
that's a
either
plot
of
hole.
why- how
Okay,
he-
with the play, yes, he did go to high school.
Y'all made a play about this.
The play's actually good.
yeah, the play is actually.
I'm just like,
Just go and watch the play.
I know. It's just like
A lot of things actually.
that's like the most creative way of releasing information that I've heard of, and the fact that it was such a limited release. I know 80% of the audience does not know it was.
It's
in that
on
play.
YouTube. You can go watch it on
It's
YouTube.
on Netflix.
YouTube. You can go watch it on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Okay,
Play.
okay,
It should
but
have been on Netflix.
okay, we've been on this topic a while. We still got to get to Marty Supreme. So let's progress. But
Next episode. We've been over Vecna. We've been over it all. Let's talk about this. 11. Is that girl still alive?
Yes.
I would hope so.
Somebody brought up, how in the world is Callie making projections when the exotic matter went off in the Upside Down, which means that she would have been the first thing to blow up?
Not necessarily.
Now, my thing is, I saw it in the reverse. Once the walls come down, the edge of Hawkins comes off, and then everything else follows.
My thing is they showed her dying though.
But she can also make projections of herself. So she could have legitimately...
No, I think she really got shot.
No. But no.
I would say
At the end of that scene, when Hopper walked back into the room, she was dead.
No, I'm saying, that could have just been from Hopper's perspective.
Why
11
was-
knows she's not dead.
But what reasoning would she have to fake her death to Hopper in that sense?
So that... Because she knows she's still trying to convince 11 to do the whole, we gotta go.
No, what I'm saying is like I think she actually got shot. I think they had their plan. It just wasn't from that point. It wasn't like their plan. They were still going to do the whole. At the end, they were going to
Stay inside the Upside Down.
Stay inside the
blow
Upside Down.
everything
Like
up.
mirage everyone to thinking that they were actually there. Like another thing I saw is that in the truck ride home, 11 didn't say anything. She didn't touch anyone. So from that entire point, she was a...
Yeah. Which makes her...
No, she slipped out at the end. That's what they said. When they got back through the portal, that's when she slipped out.
I'm saying... Again, that was never her.
They're
Someone said...
saying the truck ride and all that type of stuff. But I
From
do
the moment
think
they
that
got
it was-
back into the Upside Down, and she wasn't like physically near anyone, that's when they switched her.
it still doesn't quite make sense.
Yeah, I think once they got back through, and then the military kind of like
Got everybody.
Yeah, sabotage them.
I think it's just in my thought process. I was like, for one, I know Callie can do it better than her of communicating with people through their mind.
She can.
She's
She's better at it for sure.
than Elle, because Elle needs to.
She needs the bath.
She needs the bath to do that. That's a known fact. And also the whole thing of Mike figuring out that okay, the sound waves are off, so there is no way that Elle could have like used her powers to get from where she was in the truck when they first got pulled out of the truck to inside the portal. Because the sound waves were off.
I still think it was one of those situations when they actually got ambushed and the truck was open when it was rallying everybody up. She just kind of slipped away, and then that's when they did the mirage. Because that's how they framed it out in the scene to me. That's what it looked like to me. When he did that explanation at the end, it kind of seemed like
Also,
veil got lifted up.
I don't think they've ever explained if Callie's illusions are auditory as well too. Like, can they mask auditory stuff?
Oh yes.
I can't recall a moment for certain that shows that.
Can they mask
that? It
auditory?
shows like somebody is being illusioned, and you can't see something, but the thing that you can't see is yelling, screaming, whatever behind the illusion.
No, yes. When all of the kids were sitting at the kitchen table, they were having a whole conversation, and Vecna was there.
Damn, you so right. You know what? Okay. So then, because here's my thing. They be in pain when them sound waves be on.
Yes.
So there's no way Callie could have mask that unless she can mask audio. Yeah.
But also, wait. I mean, also, okay. I guess Elle actually was there on the bus or on the truck because when you see her, when they show the version of her getting away, you see her like physically in pain going through the store. Mm-hmm. Like she was in pain to try and get through the store. So that means she was being affected by the radio waves.
Mm-hmm.
If you were gonna kill the character, kill the character. Don't do this BS of like she's alive but she's still out there and no one can be around her. Like, that's some fast and furious type.
Millie even hated it.
They left it in the they still left it in the sense that it's all Mike's belief. Like
yes.
he's still holding on to he was still holding on to
he could 100% be delusional.
It's the fact that they showed us as the audience that, which makes me now believe, like for what we're going to talk about next, we saw the conception. We know for a fact that's his baby. So whether the show knows that or not.
But even that's what you also have to take in words. When Will was explaining it, or after Will explained all of that, Max said, "Do you think is that a theory or do you think that's true?" He said, "I don't know, but I believe." That's one of those things of like where you're not that entire scene wasn't the Mike talking to the rest of the group. That was the Duffer Brothers. The entire last scene wasn't.
It's up for interpretation of like we can pull this off if we wanted to do a sequel, but if we don't, it wasn't true. And it's just kind of like
that's how I was going. I'm trying to say
just leaving the door open.
Specifically the scene of when Mike starts talking about Elle possibly being alive, and then okay, I'm sorry. The entire scene of them finally playing the final D&D, and to the end of him explaining Elle still might be alive. That wasn't Mike talking to the group. That was the Duffer Brothers talking to the audience. Because even then, the Duffer Brothers say they have certain characters ask questions as if that they know if we were to say this and not put it in the way of this is the audience talking to us talking to the audience. Max asking questions of is that a theory or is that true or even when at the end of the D&D campaign. Max goes, really? That's it? This is you're supposed to be this great writer and storyteller and stuff. That's the Duffer Brothers.
What at themselves?
Yes.
Essentially, yeah.
So and that's great foreshadowing of Duffer Brothers knowing these people are gonna hate this, but we're gonna do it in a sense because if you like your script the way you like your script, you like the script the way you like your script. And if you put it on people don't like it, again, that's
the script was not that good, bro.
That's
go back to that.
That's your opinion. But they wrote it, they liked it. Enough people in Netflix.
The damn producers paid for this. They paid for
$400 million.
$500.
Oh, it's $500. It's $500 million. The budget.
Yes.
I saw somebody said 4.
I saw 5.
Okay, let's proceed and also.
Let's just wrap this up. So we can, because we gonna cut and do, yeah.
Okay. So
to end it, yes, basically
to end this off. Actually, no, we have to go over one more point because we haven't touched on these guys. The Mystery Incorporated gang.
Who?
Steve, Jonathan, Nancy, Robin. Don't even talk about that.
He doesn't like any of these characters.
Let's just end it.
No.
That's going to be a whole too long conversation.
Okay, no. We don't have to have a whole conversation about it, but I do like
I like when they wrap them all up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to do the whole.
No.
But I feel like that wrap up was great.
I think that show has potential, but it's probably never going to happen.
Yes, if we're talking about that ending scene for them, yes, I liked it. I liked how they ended all of those characters. Definitely thought Nancy was gonna end up being like a cop under Hopper or something like that, or join the military.
She doesn't like rules at all.
Yeah, no, she's just kind of like doing her own thing.
No,
That's why I thought she was gonna be a cop. Like at least a cop, she makes the rules. She enforces the rules.
The Duffer Brothers said Dimitri was the one who helped Eleven escape from Hawkins as a favor.
Oh. That makes sense why Murray was not present during the last of the meeting yet. Why Murray wasn't present at all.
I mean, there was no reason for Murray to be present at that ending scene.
To wrap up his story because he was there.
I definitely would see Murray. Like Murray lived.
We gotta wrap up for Derek and unnamed black child number 2.
That's. But you know why they did that.
To set up the story, so
that's not a story setup. That's why you have Will. That's why you have Mike looking at them at the end to be. It's the same way. Like they did the same thing for On My Block. They had the last cast look at a bunch of kids. They're supposed to resemble them. That's all they were doing. Is Will looking back and being like, oh my.
I know more about what Ted Wheeler is doing in his life now than Murray. And that doesn't sit right with me.
Murray went home. That's it.
Show that.
That's an unnecessary plot. You keep wanting unnecessary plots.
I'm not saying you have to spend 5 minutes of where Murray is now. He could be at home.
That's unnecessary
exposition. You could show him at the graduation. You could have done something.
For what?
And I like Murray's character. I didn't think it was necessary.
Also, think about this. Murray, even when Hawkins was shut down, Murray wasn't living in Hawkins. He was bringing supplies from outside of Hawkins.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Murray left before Hawkins got shut down.
I'm saying a character who has been a part of the show all season as a supporting cast member. All the other supporting cast members got moments. He didn't. He just vanished. After the exotic matter destroyed and after 11 went missing, he just does not show up again for the rest of the episode.
I mean,
yes.
What's the name just reappears?
Who?
The dad.
That makes sense. He was in the hospital since episode
But they
3.
never clarified what was going on with him at all the whole season.
No reason to.
Nobody
cares. That's what I'm saying.
Nobody cares.
Exactly. There's no reason to show him going home. It's not necessary. It's just.
But they showed him and they showed, Ted's still alive. They showed Dustin's mama. We ain't seen Dustin's mama since
That's his
3.
mom. It's his mom. Of course she's
at his
going to be at the
graduation.
There is no reason for Murray to be at the graduation.
Them his kids too.
No,
it's not.
he got wrapped into this
They showed.
by Nancy and Jonathan.
He did.
Of course,
Nancy and Jonathan?
Yes.
I thought it was Hopper.
They found him.
He did. Yeah,
Nancy and
he
Jonathan
did
found
first.
him.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, that was them first.
Okay, that's right.
All in all, I'm just glad it's over. Honestly, I think season 4 is the best season. It's wrapped. It's over with.
Make a deal with God.
And at the end of the day, the Stranger Things was the friends that we made along the way. That's what it is.
I just gotta say, it's fantastic.
Say that one more time for me.
It's fantastic.
That line makes no sense. I don't know why you say that. No, I'm talking about him.
Me?
That line makes no sense.
I'm inserting for literally every other show, whatever you could imagine. Literally.
Stranger Things isn't one singular thing. What? That makes no sense.
Okay. All right. All right. Yeah.
Okay, guys, that's a wrap up on today's episode. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you guys think. Who's your favorite characters from the show? What do you guys think of the finale and the ending? Do you think this prequel that we didn't even get a chance to talk about that really? We're gonna wrap up. But what were your thoughts on the show? We've been 10 years in the making of this. Most of us have been through middle school, high school, and some college, and this show is just now ending. And with that, we are Madman Activities. We'll see y'all some point. We don't know. We'll figure it out.
Alrighty.
Ow. Cut.